Welcome to the Savage Productions YouTube channel.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Savage Productions YouTube channel. Today we're going to pretty much go over what my dad has been working on the last couple months. He recorded a lot of stuff by himself, so I'm going to have a lot of the video playing here, and then we'll cut to the status on where we are right now, which is actually pretty cool. So he was recording a lot of this when I was actually injured with my shoulder and couldn't really record a whole lot of stuff, so shout out to him. If you don't know what happened with my shoulder, I had a skiing accident, had to have surgery, kind of big thing, but I'm doing a lot better now. I'm actually holding the camera or my phone with the arm that the shoulder kind of injured on, so obviously I'm doing a lot better. But I'll cut to the videos that he created, so if they're bad, just give him a little bit of a break. It's the first time recording, but I'm sure it'll be all right.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be doing a little bit of recording here today. Justin's not able to make it in, and we've got some project here to show you. We've got a Fox Body 5.0 Mustang engine sitting in here that we are going to bring back to life. So the story with this is, got a customer that actually bought a rolling chassis. Not sure what year, 89, 90, 91, Fox Body Coupe. The car was originally, I guess the guy he bought it from was going to put a Coyote motor in it, and plans have changed. So our customer went and bought this car, super clean car. It already has some Scott Rod panels in it in the engine compartment, and so he basically got it painted, got the engine compartment painted. It looks really nice. So he bought a donor car that had a motor in it. So this motor was sitting in the car with no heads on it. As you can see, it's really nasty. You can see all the surface rust. I mean, I went ahead and actually sanded that right there just to see if there was any pits in there. The cylinder walls actually look good as far as a lip. There's no lip here. Not sure how many miles are on this one. This one's supposed to have a Ford Motorsport, E303 cam in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, I've already started. I went ahead and pulled the lifters out. I want to get the other lifters out of there. I'm going to drop the oil pan, take the front timing cover off, balancer. I'm going to pull all the pistons out, see what the crank looks like, and then I'm going to hone out one cylinder, at least one cylinder. I'm going to hone it out. Then I want to measure the cylinders, make sure that we have, it's supposed to never been bored out. Looks like it's all original pistons and everything. So I want to measure them, make sure we've got a good cylinder wall going on there, and then if so, I'm going to hone it out. And if I was able to clean that up with a little bit of emery cloth, I'd say I could probably hone this out to about 3/1000ths over, which would be good. If that's the case, we're going to clean the pistons up, clean everything up, resurface the crank, put new bearings in, be able to reuse these pistons, clean the block all up real good. Might just take it and have it hot tanked. Otherwise, I usually just pressure wash it and scrub the hell out of it. So what we're going to do here is a trick flow top end kit on this motor. And instead of doing the track heat kit, which comes with valve covers and an upper and lower intake, he actually has his own intake. So it's not a, it's a Cobra intake, which is not bad. They pull to about 55, 5700. You can pull them on up to about 6000 with the right camshaft, or at least have the cam degreed in good. That's a mass airflow sensor he had, but we're probably going to go with something better than that. Going to pour it out, open it up to about a 70. It actually should be already a 70. Have to check it. We're going to port the lower. Yeah, see the port. It's all stock. It hasn't been ported. We're going to port the lower. That's really what chokes these down. These Cobra. If you port the lower, it really helps in the upper RPM power. So that's kind of the goal there. Got to clean up. We're going to repaint with cast aluminum, make them look new again. You can actually get these stickers new. There's also one that goes here. So we're going to clean it all up, paint it all up for them. They'll look brand new. So that'll save him some money. So for $2,500, The trick flow top-end kit that we sell, the track heat setup will come with heads, upper and lower intake, cam, roller rockers, screwed in studs, guide plates, timing chain. I mean, it's basically just a full set. You can go with that setup, valve covers, upper and lower intake, if I didn't say that. Or you can go with the 11R 170cc top-end kit. Comes with the 11R head, 170cc head, not the 190s or 205s. It comes with a cam, screwed in studs, guide plates. I mean, basically comes with everything the other kit comes with, except it doesn't come with upper and lower intake or valve covers. So it does make more power though. That particular head with all the supporting mods, Trick Flow says on their dyno, engine dyno, made 432 horsepower. So that kind of depends on, you know, what cam. Actually, that's with their cam that comes in the kit, but depends on what headers, you know all the supporting mods. So I'm thinking with that intake, it may not make quite the 430. It might make, you know, around 400 or so at the flywheel. But, you know, that's really all he's looking for. This customer is looking for 400 horsepower flywheel, something that's really streetable. The cam thumps pretty good, the cam that they put in the kit. You know, it's about a 499 intake, 501 exhaust on the lift. I think the duration, yeah, it's pretty decent duration, you know. It's basically, they have enough duration on this can. The lift obviously isn't the biggest you can go with stock pistons, but with the Trick Flow head that has 202 valves, it kind of is about the largest cam that you want to go with for valve clearance because of the duration that the cam does have. So, but you know, it'd be a pretty good deal for him. He's already got the intake. He's got a set of headers already, so he's already got some good stuff. So along with that, you know, we could obviously do new lifters, factory replacement lifters. Trick Flow sells them. They're $103 for the set. You can't go wrong there. Let's see, and here is you know, the Spider, which, you know, it's in good shape, but we don't know how many miles are on it. This is what holds the lifters down. Hell, you can get them cheap for like $35, $40 for a new one, so we're probably going to do that. Now, the kit does come with AOP head bolts. You can upgrade to the studs, but really don't need to. Comes with good head gaskets, intake gasket, exhaust gasket. Really just comes with everything you need. We do have to get a front timing cover gasket. For some reason the kit doesn't come with the gasket, so we're going to do that. Yeah, so it's going to be a pretty sweet deal when it's all done. Going to paint it for him, get it all cleaned up, and then he's actually going to bring the car to us to install. I'm going to get started on this motor. Let me get the camera up on the stand here, and we're going to knock this thing out. I'm going to go ahead and kind of get some stuff stripped off of this, and of course, you know, we'll probably speed the video up. Anyway, when I drained the oil out of this thing, it was mostly water. So, kind of worried to see what it looks like inside. We're just going to throw these away because we're not going to use these again. They've seen better days. When you can get a whole new set for $103, why? Cardboard up under it. Catch all the nasties. Not bad at all. I was kind of worried about the cylinder walls being all rusty on the inside because it had some water in there, but they actually Actually look good, there's no surface rust at all. Only surface rust is above the pistons. So that's good. Yeah, you can see it's all milky right here. Actually, well, the freaking bearings don't look bad. A little bit of a scratch right there, so not really worried about it. We're going to resurface the crank anyway. That's a good sign right there, though. Kind of thought maybe the bearings would be wiped out. Not too bad. Well, went ahead and got one out. These things are a little tough getting out, obviously, because the cylinder walls are surface rusted on the top. So having to beat these out, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. But anyway, as you can see, the actual bearing on this side is coppered up. See that discolor right there? Yeah, this side's not bad. That side, not so good. No problem. We got to resurface the crank, put new bearings in there anyway. This is number 5. On to the next. A little rubber hose on there, so we don't scar up the crank. We got to resurface it anyway, but no sense in damaging it if you don't have to. A little started coming out. But that's to be expected with the rust on the cylinder. The crankshaft really does not look bad. That's pretty nice right there. You never know what you're going to get into when you get a motor like this. Down to the last one. Just kind of sped through it a little bit. Didn't want to bore you guys. Crankshaft actually looks good. All the bearings are pretty much, yeah, they got a lot of wear showing on. Some of them do, some of them don't. Like this one don't really look too bad. But other ones, they do have some copper showing, so a little bit of heat marks on this one. So right here. But actually not too bad. Not sure how many miles are on it. So if the cylinder walls are actually, if they check out okay, which I think they will because they really look good. I just got to actually check them and see if, if they're still out around, whatever. Sometimes just by honing them out, as long as they're not worn out too large, which it doesn't appear to be because there's not any lip on the top. Usually there's a lip on the top where the ring only goes up so high. This top ring only rides up so high on the cylinder wall, up and down, and from that point up, it'll be smaller, and from that point down, the cylinder wall is bigger from the rings and the wear. Well, there's no lip at all. So I know Ford usually puts low tension rings in these so they don't really wear the cylinder walls out too bad. And that's why on a high mileage motor, you can generally just hone it out, put new rings, clean the pistons all up, clean everything up good, put it all back together with the same pistons. So that's kind of what we're hoping for. Once I go in and actually hone out a couple cylinders, get that surface rust off there, we'll be able to tell. Because if there's any pitting at all from the surface rust on the cylinders, we'll have to bore it out, put new pistons in, probably 30 over, make it a 306. But if we don't have to, save the customer some money. Just want to make sure we keep rod caps. And then of course we'll check the rods. You basically, clean them up a little bit and torque them down to factory specs. And then you measure in here, make sure that the factory specs are within range, and make sure that it's not longer one way than the other. Usually these will have a little bit longer measurement this way than this way. As long as they're not completely out of round and within specs, we could just reuse them, not have them reconditioned. If they are, then take them to the machine shop, they'll recondition them and we can reuse them. Cheaper than buying new rods. Because these rods are actually hold decent amount of power, for what we're going to put at this thing. It doesn't really need anything crazy. Obviously if it was making 500 horsepower, 450, maybe 450 and up, that's when you may want to change the rods. You can go with some good I-beam rods that are stronger, but generally, 450 horsepower, flywheel horsepower or less, these rods are fine. And then we're not even going to twist it hard. It's only going to be twisted maybe 6,000 RPM, so they're fine. Really no sense in spending the money on rods. Like for instance, the engine that we had in Justin's car was a stock block 331. It did have a cast crank. It had forged I-beam rods, forged aluminum pistons. It made 470 wheel, the 11R twisted wedge, 190cc heads, made 11-to-1 compression, and it, we had it set up. He shifted at about 6,300, 6,400 RPM. So obviously you want to put a better rod in there for that. So, but in this case, really don't need to. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop this crank out of here, and we'll see what the main bearings look like. Oh yeah, these are a little bit worn. I don't know if you can see that. Got that copper in there. It's real important too on these to keep the main caps where they're supposed to go. They're marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and then they also have an arrow that faces towards the front of the motor. We'll be getting new timing chain and gear set. Yeah, so this is aftermarket. This has got a 3-way adjustable. So the 0 would be straight up. Then you have a 2 degrees retard, 2 degrees advance on the cam timing. We like to use the 9-way adjustable, so you can get 2 degrees, 4 degrees, 6 degrees when you want to really degree the cam in. Well, yeah, cylinder walls have got some pitting. I figured that's a shame. They're pitted up, so it's going to have to be bored out. Honing it out, yeah, you could probably hone it 5, 6 thousandths, but that's just too much. Really don't want to go over 5 thousandths, oversize on a hone. Could go a little bit more than that, but I don't think it's going to clean it up. There's definitely some deep pits in here. It's going to take at least 30 thousandths bore. So that's just because of the rust, a lot of rust going on. And, but, that's all good. We'll bore it out. We'll see if he wants to put a bigger cam in it. We can actually go with different, instead of stock flat tops, we can go with a set of flat tops with some deeper eyebrows for the valve reliefs. And we could go bump it on up to, I don't know, 540, 550, 60 lift cam. He don't want to go too crazy on it. So we'll have to talk to him, see what he wants to do. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here for tonight. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you on the next one.
Well, welcome back, guys. Today, I'm kind of continuing on with this Ford 302 bring it back to life build, as we're calling it. Got the block over at the machine shop getting bored out, cam bearings put in. I'm going to go ahead and press the old pistons off the rods just to save us a little money. I could actually press these on the new pistons, but I don't have a jig set up for that, and honestly, I'm just going to let the machine shop do it. It's safer, so we don't mess up the rods. But I'm going to go ahead and press these off and kind of show you how you can do it if you have your own press. I just basically set up, these are the plates that come with the press. Just kind of set it up so you have an opening here for the pin to go down through. I put this one on the top because you want some leverage here to hold the rod. And then I also put this on here. It was the exact thickness I needed to support the piston. So I just kind of put it on here, try to center it. And then I use a socket that's a little bit smaller than the pin. Here's the pins that come out. It's just a little bit smaller. It's really simple to do. I'm sure a lot of guys have done this many a times, but I figured I would just show you. And when I sit it on the pin, I'm just going to kind of move it around and put it dead center of the pin so it doesn't actually catch the rod as it's being pushed down through there. Bring it on down. Alright, once it's on it, sometimes you'll hear a big pop just to get that pin going. And I'll just kind of double check, make sure everything's good. Look up under here. Yep, it's all clear. This one's actually a little bit tighter. I've done 3 of them so far, and I think I had one that might have been about this tight. And then also, I got this light shining here. I like to look in between the piston and the rod. As my socket is going down, I just kind of look at it to make sure it's not going to hit the rod in any way. Plus you'll feel it. You'll start feeling it get tight if it starts hitting the rod. You want to make sure it goes down into the center of the rod, doesn't damage it. Almost a perfect length. As soon as it comes down, it breaks loose right before it touches the piston here. That's it. And that's it. Presses right out. Take a look at the rod. You can tell it didn't touch it at all. So that's good. And then on to the next one. Alright, well that pretty much does it. So I'm going to take all these rods over to the parts washer, get a little emery cloth, actually just Scotch-Brite pad, clean up the end, both ends here. I've already mic'd these, make sure that they were within tolerance, and they are. I'm going to just clean them all up good and then take them to the machine shop with the new pistons. And that's it.
Okay, Mr. Savage himself here. The people just watched what could have been an atrocious video or something that was good, but I don't know. They'll tell us what they thought down in the comments.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, what is it? About a couple weeks later from when you recorded last?
Yeah,
a few weeks.
It's only been a couple weeks. So
we got the block back.
Yeah, so obviously I recorded myself kind of talking about it and pulling it all apart and everything, and we ended up having to get the block board. We were going to try to hone it out, but it didn't work. It was too rusted. The block had sat in a car for a long time with no heads on it, so it was really in bad shape. So we had to get the deck machined a little bit. I think it took about 2 or 3 thousandths off. I got it on paperwork. We was able to go 20 over instead of 30.
Okay.
Just trying to keep it as thick as we can.
Yep.
And so we did that. We got new cam bearings in, got it hot tanked. Oh, and here's the crank actually. Got the crank back. We was able to get it resurfaced.
Yeah. In case you're wondering, we did have this wrapped up. That's the bag. It just came in. You got it, what, just today, right?
Yeah, I got it today, and I got to go get some more bolts to hang it on the stand, because the Ford bolts are on that stand with that 427 Ford motor.
Right.
So I'm gonna do that in the morning so I can get this on the stand. And I got all the stuff. I got the crank. Here's the rods. Got the rods all cleaned up.
So it's stock rods and aftermarket pistons.
Yeah, they're still like a stock replacement piston, 20 over. They've got a coating on the skirts. You know, no sense in spending a whole bunch of money on the pistons. They're hypertectic,
Right.
but they still got a pretty good little, top to them in case he wants to run nitrous. But he said he's not going to run nitrous. He just wants to make about 400 flywheel. We just kind of wanted to do a video up to this point, and then I'm going to be, videoing while I'm putting it together and all that. That'll be another video.
Right.
And so we're doing the Trick Flow 11R top end kit on this one, 170 cc head, and
Right. Which those are the same heads that I had on mine, but they were 190s on mine.
Yeah, these are
On
the
my
70s.
On my 331 setup.
Yeah, and so with stock bottom end, with the cam that comes in the kit and all the supporting mods, Trick Flow advertises 432 horsepower flywheel.
Okay.
Which is, it's about right.
So that's stock bottom end, and I mean this is going to be what, a 304?
Yeah, it'll be about 304 now. So and it's going to be fresh. So it ought to do pretty well.
It has some freed up space in there for a little more ponies.
Yeah, probably going to do long tubes, inch and 3/4 long tubes, and the whole deal. So if he decides he wants to put nitrous on it in the future, then I want to gap the rings a little bit more, because with hypertectic pistons, you do have to gap the ring a little bit more than with a forged piston.
Yeah.
Because they get hotter, and actually that's why all these factory cars come with hypertectic. Coyotes come with them. Hell, I think this LS3's got hypertectic in them. So, and they do that because the hypertectic, the top of the piston will get hotter, and it will actually burn the fuel. It makes a little bit more power, but it's emissions, all that stuff. It's
right.
just combustion chamber deal. But I mean, yeah, you can't throw like a bunch of power to them, but it'll still handle 150 horse, no problem.
Yeah.
Shot of nitrous.
Right. So I mean, if it's making what, 425 at the crank,
yeah, if he wants to do 150 shot,
that'd be okay, I think, for the stock block. These are pretty notorious for handling about 550 to the crank. And if you go really anywhere beyond that, they actually start splitting right here down the lifter valley.
Yeah.
If you ask anybody who ever had a Fox Body or any 302 or anything like that, if they know much about the horsepower limitations, they always say about 500, 525, 550.
Yeah. But he pretty much said he's not going to do that. He just wants to build a nice car he can take to shows,
right,
and cruise ins, and just have fun. He don't want to put nitrous on it. He wants about 400 horsepower. That's all he wants.
You said it's a Fox Body?
It's a coupe too. It's a Fox Body coupe.
Well, that's gonna be it for this video. You all already watched the time lapse and Dad talking, kind of explaining some stuff on what he did.
Yeah. Well, once we edit, we'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, yeah. It may not be the end of the video. No, I'm sure it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I had to get it from somewhere, right?
Yeah. Whatever.
All right, so that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Be on the lookout for the next video with this engine. Dad's going to be spending a lot of time putting different rods and pistons and a bunch of different blocks here, probably in the next couple of months, honestly. So this is going to be one of them. If you're all interested and you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you all in another video.